കേരള സർക്കാരിന്റെ ഉൾപ്പെടെ പിന്തുണയോടെയാണ് കട്ടിംഗ് സൗത്ത് പ്രചരണം ആരംഭിച്ചതെന്ന് ഓർഗനൈസർ മാസിക ചീഫ് എഡിറ്റർ പ്രഫുല്ല ഖേദ്കർ. അംബേദ്കർ പോലും തള്ളിക്കളഞ്ഞ ആര്യ ദ്രാവിഡൻ തത്വം ഇന്നും കമ്മ്യൂണിസ്റ്റ് പാർട്ടി കൊണ്ടു നടക്കുകയാണ്. വിഭജനത്തെ പിന്തുണച്ച ഏക രാഷ്ട്രീയ പാർട്ടി കമ്മ്യൂണിസ്റ്റ് പാർട്ടി മാത്രമെന്നും അദ്ദേഹം ജനം ടിവിയോട് പറഞ്ഞു.
തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് നടക്കുന്ന ബ്രിഡ്ജിംഗ് സൗത്ത് പരിപാടിയുടെ ഭാഗമായി ഓർഗനൈസർ ചീഫ് എഡിറ്റർ പ്രഫുൽ ഖേദ്കർ നമ്മോടൊപ്പമുണ്ട്. അദ്ദേഹം വിശദമായി എന്തുകൊണ്ട് ബ്രിഡ്ജിംഗ് സൗത്ത് എന്ന് നമ്മളോട് വിശദീകരിക്കും. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അന്താരാഷ്ട്ര വിഷയങ്ങളിലും അദ്ദേഹം പ്രതികരിക്കുമെന്ന് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നു. തീർച്ചയായും ആദ്യം ചോദ്യങ്ങളിലേക്ക് പോവുകയാണ്. സർ, definitely the conclave is concluded now and we have concentrated on the bridging south idea. Why the bridging south and what is lacking? What is the gap to create a bridge here?
I don't see there is a gap, but since in Kerala with direct and indirect support of Kerala government, even some outside agencies, the way Cutting South conclave was organized, and the idea of South India is different, South India is separate, South India has a different culture, South India has different languages, South India is economically separate from North. That kind of narrative is systematically built. Many papers are coming out on it, many debates and many social media posts are coming on it. So it's a deliberate attempt. See, culturally, spiritually, we have been one since ages. What has changed? It's the process of colonization. Please try and understand, the northern part faced a lot of physical attacks and aggression from the western front, whether Arab, Turks, Mongols, or even before that Greeks and Huns. What we have faced on the southern part is mainly the European aggression. Initially the Portuguese, then the Dutch, and then the British. To some extent even French. So the process of colonization has been different, and that's why our responses and the process of development has been different. That doesn't mean that we are independent states, independent nations. What we have created, otherwise pre-British era, we should have fought on linguistic lines. We never fought on linguistic lines. Historically, we always had many more languages, many more texts, many more translations, many more cross-translations, and we all celebrated that. So diversity of all these things and still realizing inherent unity was unique sense of Bharat. And I believe that Kesari, through this kind of conclave, is trying to address this political, academic and media challenge. How to bring in this integrationist discourse, because your freedom, your free speech cannot be at the cost of national integration and propagating such faulty ideas. So I see this Bridging South conclave is a great initiative to bring people from different walks of life together and talk about the integrationist idea of Bharat.
You have stated in your conversation, in your discussion, you have stated very clearly that from 1920 itself, the beginning of disintegration has happened, and the integration is only because of the tax collection process by the British government. Such kind of narratives were happened. So, what you have to express, what you have the factors to express, that it is an intention begun from 1920.
See, what British basically tried to do is, British said that before we arrived, and we are the ones who come here to civilize you, so before us you were not a nation. If we were not a nation, why Portuguese and French formed the company called East India Company? They should have called the East Calicut Company, East Bengal Company. Why they called East India Company? So idea of India was already there. They knew that very well, but they wanted to rule us, so they created divisive identities. So they said, you were never a nation. Unfortunately, the communist ideology, which doesn't believe in the idea of nation itself, they believe only in class struggle, they believe only in struggle, they believe in the ideology of violence. Whatever mask they wear, the fact is, historical fact is, the Stalins and Maos and Pol Pots have killed more people than even Hitler. So they are equally communist, equally fascist and equally violent. The problem is they never believed that there is something called unified India. And because of these two ideologies, the British colonial ideology and communist colonial ideology, academically and intellectually we have created perception that as if there was nothing before British came. Right from pre-Vedic eras, till our Bhakti movement, our literature, our fight and resistance against the foreign invasion. Every time the idea of Bharat was proclaimed, and very vociferously proclaimed, whether it is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, whether it is Velu Nachiyar, whether even the Manavikrama dynasty, which is popularly known as Zamorin, the Samudrin kings. What are they fighting for? What was Travancore doing? It was basically they were fighting for the idea of Bharat. But the difference was we were a unified nation and a decentralized state. Our state models, our governance models were very decentralized, as per our needs, as per the local requirement, as per the climatic conditions. What British did, British reversed the process. British centralized the state, because in Europe they had that concept, church versus state, and the idea of secularism based on that church versus state. So they tried to apply the same. So we got the centralized state, and they divided us on linguistic line, on religious lines, on different structures as per the European model. Because in Europe, all nation states got divided on the basis of languages, or whether they are Protestants or Catholics. They tried to apply the same thing to us. So unfortunately, we got trapped in these two ideologies. But there has been nationalist assertions time and again. Gandhi was one of them, Tilak was one of them, Subhash Chandra Bose was there, Subramaniam Bharati was there. In the post-independent movement period also, we are seeing the continuous dialogue. If you see Ambedkar's writing on who were Kshudras, he clearly is stating that whether it is scheduled caste or the people from south, we form the same race. Anthropologically we are same, culturally we are same. The British premise is wrong, and they will always after opposing Ambedkar, after defeating Ambedkar, communists always chant the name of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, but they will not refer to his who were Kshudras, where he is clearly negating the Aryan Dravidian theory.
Okay, definitely you have referred many times in many places, and you have referred here also that the Communist Party is the only party who accepted the formation of...
Not accepted, supported.
Supported,
only
yes.
Party that passed the resolution for partition of India on religious lines, the only communal party after Muslim League who supported the idea of Pakistan was Communist Party of India. And that time it was a unified Communist Party. There is an official resolution of it in 1942-43. So, they are the last people whom I can trust when it comes to unity and integrity of the nation.